Hello, and welcome to Sword and Quill, an actual play Dungeons & Dragons podcast. We are a group of friends, some of us game developers, who have been playing together for almost 2 years, and decided to turn it into a podcast. My name is Zein, and I am the Dungeon Master. We are very happy to have you here, and we hope you will follow along on our journey, where you will meet furious orcs, or idiotic little goblins,
or wise mages,
or old little alchemists who what did I put in this potion again? Oh, well, I don't know. Let's put a bit more arse in it, it will be fine.
The characters are level 8, and a few things have happened, so I created this episode as a recap to bring you up to speed. But first off, the most important part of this story, the players. We have Hinnerk Clearmorn, a human cleric, worshipper of Lathander, the god of dawn. Hinnerk might be disputably the black sheep of the Clearmorn family of clerics and paladins, played by Martin. Second, Havoc, the tiefling rogue / bard. At night, dealing damage with her daggers. At day, with her bagpipes. Watch your ears, folks. Worshipper of Temora, the goddess of luck and fate, played by Allison. Third, Scourglow Ethersand, an Earth Genasi artificer and his loyal steel defender, a barrel golem named Raggle. Scourglow comes from the far nation of Drakheim. He is played by Simon. Fourth, Dubrok, the goblin monk, abducted and enslaved by an evil cult called the Masked Hunt. He escaped there 8 years ago and is now out for revenge, played by Robert. Fifth, Bulgur Bovis, an Aarakocra blood hunter. Accidentally summoned a demon and killed their entire hometown. Oops. Now just following along and shooting things like enemies or the ocean. Played by Elena. On the way, the group lost 2 characters, the human warlock Rolf Todenhofer and the half-orc barbarian Tamak. May they rest in peace. Those are the characters. But what was the story, you ask? Good question. Here we go. We started with the D&D starting adventure Lost Mines of Phandelver, but soon after I went on ahead and created my own world and lore. But that's why you will occasionally hear familiar things like Neverwinter, the Lord's Alliance, and such. During their adventures, they met Hinnerk, the cleric, who was the last survivor of a group of Lathandrian followers who were sent out to investigate an old shrine. They were ambushed by goblins and died. Hinnerk was the only one who made it out alive. He then was arrested by the Church of Lathander and brought to Neverwinter to stand trial. The accusation? Betraying and murdering his comrades. Our group of adventurers knew he was innocent, but apparently there was an eyewitness, so they suspect a setup. As it turned out, Hinnerk's own mother, Eudora Clearmorn, was part of the 3 judges in this trial. Yeesh. They investigate and uncover the tip of an iceberg of a conspiracy. Something was going on in Neverwinter. They knew someone wanted Hinnerk either dead or imprisoned, but they couldn't find out why. One night, a woman showed up in Hinnerk's chamber and tried forcing him to kill the key witness that apparently saw the cleric betraying his group. Fortunately, the adventurers could stop the woman, but she was killed before they could ask her who the culprit was. They also found out about the Shrouded Hand, a thieves' guild living under the city, and that the water in the center of Neverwinter was turning stale and salty. The weird thing was, the water turned normal as soon as you took it outside, and vice versa. However, they didn't know if this was connected to the case or not. The trial began and ended with a trial by combat. After winning the battle, Hinnerk was proclaimed innocent, but they never found out who was behind this. The adventurers needed to vent and participated in the Fury Nights, a tournament where you fought big monsters for a prize. The group made third place, and in the last night, their friend Rolf was poisoned and died. He once set a bard on fire for using vicious mockery on him. She survived and swore vengeance, sending assassins after him, and one finally succeeded. Coincidentally, after that, they quickly met a new companion, Skurglo, the Artificer. The group was then summoned by the Duchess of Hailgrim, the country most of the adventurers live in. The Duchess and the Lord's Alliance asked the adventurers for help. There is an undead rising in the north, and only one little fort stands between the civilized world and the frozen north. Nobody knows where they're coming from or why they are rising, so they sent the group to investigate. They travel there, a long journey over sea and through mountains. On their way, they encountered a clan of orcs whose children keep vanishing. In an attempt to offer help, the adventurers approached them, but the orcs didn't accept help from outsiders and imprisoned Havoc and Tamak. The two managed to sneak and fight their way out, almost. Tamak didn't survive and was killed. Havoc made it out alive. But as fate would have it, though, Tamak was wearing the Ring of Mind Shielding as he died, and his soul now inhabits the ring on Havoc's finger. The two can telepathically talk to each other now, so in a way Tamak is still with us. After that traumatic event, they met the goblin Dubruk, who was on his way to the north himself to set an end to his former masters, the Masked Hunt. They group up and travel together. A few weeks later, they arrive at the fort, where they meet with Celeste Clearmorn, champion paladin and sister of Hinnerk, and General Malik, a retired Tabaxi war hero who's in charge of the fort. Both brief the group on the situation, telling them that the skeletons are relentless and keep marching south every night. The adventurers help where they can and travel north into the Plains of Acceptance, a frozen tundra said to be the dying place of ancient dragons. They meet an orc druid named Uldir, who tells them that another orc named Gaul Bloodfist is raising the undead, but he doesn't know why or where he has these powers from. The adventurers set out to track Bloodfist down. A day later, they find an army of skeletons and a mysterious purple light in the center of it. Did they find Bloodfist? What will they do? Will they distract the skeletons and take him out to end this now, or play it safe? This is where our last session ended, and where the next one will pick up. So this is a very brief summary of what happened. I will probably write up a more detailed one, but I hope you will follow us on this journey and subscribe to Sword and Quill. As we're all new to running a podcast, we'll figure things out as we go. So grab your sword, quill, and prepare some cucumber sandwiches, because we're going on an adventure. So long!